They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So then you said that they put millions of my actions. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage is safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show. We could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found. The time for your judgment is now. You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. 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 Look, ain't no remorse in my bloodstream. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I'm back gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember YAHANNA's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of man. Shooters, that was designed 5 for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums. You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
All right, clap it up. Hey, shalom, Yahweh yeah, to the brothers, Yahweh Shama, Anatan Basham, to the sisters. All right, so this is another episode of our conflict zone from ISUPK Jamaica. All right, in the conflict zone, we look at what is happening amongst our people and the business implications or the implication for businesses. Look at the bottom line, the money. Because these nations, the things that they do to us, there's always a bottom line to it. Money. Except except for the oppressor. The oppressor do things firstly because of hatred, and then because of money. All right, so we're looking at Trump 2.0, or in other words, the second term of Trump. I remember Trump didn't get 2 consecutive terms. And Trump, his presidency, sorry, his presidency and the implications on the Caribbean or CARICOM, the CARICOM implication, which is the Caribbean community. Now, believe it or not, the Caribbean community, though they are not speaking out, like, going to their parliament and saying things to the news media, there's a little panic within the Caribbean. Because if you remember, Trump 1.0, Trump first term, when the pandemic was about to hit, and I don't remember the name of his diplomat at the time, but I think he had sent a diplomat to the Caribbean who he did meet with the CARICOM community in general. He pick out some of the members and meet with them. So they are thinking now that probably Trump 2.0 might eventually break up CARICOM. All right. Hey, Shalom, sis. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, so it would be nice to have one of the sisters and come in on our TikTok one of these Tuesdays, one of the conflict. One of our conflict zone class in podcasts. All right. So plus Trump, the cutting of the what do I call it now? Subsidies and programs that the US government run in various places. But this one in America, you have the farmers. Of course, it's going to be black farmers that is going to be firstly affected. So we have one of a black farmer who actually start, blowing his should I say blowing a trumpet already? Well, no, it's not trumpet. Them blowing. He's blowing. He's feeling the pinch. Yeah, because they are saying that certain programs where them did already start, where them supposed to get funding for, If the money not run by a certain time, them go have to close them programs, and some of them would have to close their business totally. All right, this one here, small businesses struggle. NBC News. What's the date on this one? Share this tab. Click on card key. Don't know what that is. All right, let me see. Yeah, most iron crisis. All right. Add to stage. Man. Right. Small businesses struggle to find their footing 1 month into Trump. Just 12 what? 12 nothing. 1 month. Just one dega month. And the article says uncertainty is running high on Main Street after a deluge of economic policy changes, with some entrepreneurs reporting unpaid invoices and other funding worries. That is the problem. When they have a change of government and invoice to pay, if you're not careful, you might not pay none at all. But they always do these things whenever you have a change of administration. Invoice, if you pay, you don't get paid. Yeah, you used to have the problem there. President Donald Trump tapped into his pro-business reputation on the campaign trail. That's a campaign photo. All right. February 16, 2025. So that's this month. Well, it's a 1 month after Trump. So you can know it's a recent document. Let me see. All right. So we're going to read this article. 101 or so, same time will come out. President Donald Trump's first weeks in office have brought a flurry of changes, from funding freezes and tariffs to a crackdown on diversity effort. While courts have halted some of them, small businesses faced with higher costs, steep interest rates, and more cautious consumers share a similar message. This isn't helping. So them little things are always going on. Then kill out the business them where that were most businesses that would have been benefiting from the previous administration. They start to the brand those as belonging to the party of the previous administration. So in Trump case now, most of those businesses now would get brand as Democrats. So them try find way to stifle it. But they do it under the banner to say these businesses could probably be conducting fraudulent business, or fraud, because in other words now, why I do something and rinse off some money. But it's another way to really stifle the opposition, They do the same thing out here. But in Trump case, Trump seemed to be cutting across the board. Nobody can explain. Sorry, nobody can explain fully Trump thing, yeah. And I know exactly what he's up to, because everybody get cut. But what Trump seemed to be doing is cut everybody and then in take time rehire the ones that he really wanted to stay. Next paragraph. David Funk said he was stunned when the U.S. Department of Agriculture rejected his $65,000 invoice for work his company had completed since October. Now, this is another thing. Regardless of what party, agricultural funding, you can't really cut that. As regardless of which party, people need to be fed. So this one now, the man them do them work, 65,000. This of course is US dollars. Sending them bill, they don't get that. Couple million Jamaican dollars today. The founder of Zero Emissions, New Northwest, a Spokane, Washington-based consultancy. Funk connects farmers with federal grants to subsidize equipment purchases and energy bills. So I have a business where him be like a middleman now and him connect the farmer them with the funding, write up them proposal and all them things. So that they can buy equipment and pay energy bill. A week after his invoice denial, agency representatives confirmed it was because of Trump's unleashing American Energy Order, which altered many projects funded through the Inflation Reduction Act. What it's resulting in is jobs lost, projects cancelled, and more job loss, said Funk. So what they're doing is really causing a lot of losses in jobs. Yeah, but now this was one thing which I was wondering, because some of these things don't really catch the television media, but you might find it in writing. Like here now, this now is causing some job losses because you have some organizations. As a matter of fact, I was listening something today too, which a lady was talking, and she was saying, well, she probably was a Democrat, but it doesn't really matter. She was really saying that a lot of organizations depend on government funding to operate. Not getting any government fund is going to cause job loss. Here it is in the written media now saying the same thing. This is going to cause more job loss. And another thing that was said that job loss, universities depend on government funding. A lot of them depend on government funding for research in order to carry these research and employ people, so that's a job loss again. All right, another one is taxes. Because of job losses, now you're going to have less taxes being paid. So states now, leading states like New York and some other one who actually make more money than they spend, would send their surplus money. Their surplus money would benefit other states that not making enough money. So why Trump want to take over Canada? Why not cut off the states then when I make no money? The states that you have to be giving money for them just to operate. And guess what? These states are white majority states. The ones that want to function, when I make no money. But states like Georgia and California and what state name again? Los Angeles is the state name. Or California. Los Angeles, California, right? The state is California. And then Georgia, California, and other one in New York, and some other ones. So you have some other states now that they depend on money from these other states who have more money than they really spend each year. So the surplus go over to these states, other states, to make them survive. But if this state now collect less money, then they're not going to have any money going over to these states. So what you're really going to have, and maybe by the time they see it, it's going to be a little bit too late. Well, I suppose them know, because Trump himself did say the first thing you're going to see is SHALAM. What them call SHALAM now. Like when they go in and take over a country and just go in and just bomb everything. And when they bomb everything, that is the shock. And it causes an awe. Meaning that now, you throw everything off balance, and then you go in and you pick up the pieces and so on. But we know what is going to happen. Also, what is really happening with Trump? Trump is the anointed one that the Zionist regime has chosen as the American president who should be in office when the third temple is being built. The third temple should be built under Trump. Third temple in Jerusalem. Yeah, he's the anointed one. He is, as a matter of fact, this Passover thing, they're supposed to be sacrificing the red heifer. Everything is right on the target. But what we know is that people are going to die. Hey, shalom, sir. Yabashim Yashai Brakata.
Yeah, Shalom Shakta. What's going on, please?
Not much, not much. Only Trump going on,
The Trump card.
Trump in some card and throwing everything off balance. Trump is like an earthquake. So, I was just explaining that Trump is the anointed one for the Zionist regime to build that third temple. Even though it's really the fourth temple still, but them say third. Because what they are not counting is the time when the temple had to be rebuilt in the Maccabees.
Right.
They don't count that. But there was that the temple it went into total state of disrepair in the time of the Maccabees. Bush start grew up in there, and which means that it lost roof and thing. Right. So they have to rebuild it. But anyway, they call it.
Yes, sir. Okay. I'll listen still. All right, yes, sir.
Okay. But they call it the third temple. So Trump is the anointed one now, because the temple has to be built. It's supposed to take either 2 or 3 years, and right. They have to get it started this Passover. Kill the red heifer so that they can purify the tools and the priests who is supposed to carry out the work to do the building. Right. Now, when they do that now, it's supposed to take about 2 or 3 years. That's why I hear Trump now tell Netanyahu, they can do what they basically telling Netanyahu can do what he want to do. Because the Zionist regime now seems to put the card on the table to him. So here what? This is the window that. But you know what's the interesting thing I'm looking for? I'm looking for that point when them are going, because they will have to demolish that Al-Aqsa Mosque. You know what I'm talking? The gold-looking dome-shaped mosque that they always show you when they show you Temple Mount in Jerusalem. It's a Muslim mosque, that is there, Now, it has to be demolished in order for them to build back that temple that they want to build. it should be interesting to see when they drop. I have an idea what they're going to do it first, drop some bomb in it first,
Right.
and then tell her that it either Hamas was in it or some other or Islamic Jihad or some other group was hiding in it and
Yeah.
launching attack on them. So they had to bomb it.
Them kid, as you say, them kid do whatever they want. These prophecy is going to come to pass. Sure, sure, sure.
But yeah, by this Passover into the next year or two, very interesting times we're living in.
Yeah,
But we know what Graham, the moment him drop a bomb in, that is the moment when World War III gonna shift to another gear, higher gear, because this is like we have said before, we are in World War III. These conflicts that you are seeing, which they don't want to admit that it's World War III. It's World War III. Even those that are being fought in the Congo, in Africa, it is for the natural resources that they need, which Africa have, but they need it for the next phase of civilization that they are trying to move this world in.
Right.
The flying cars and the electric vehicles and all that. Yeah, that's the new face of that is the face of the new cities that are the more modern cities that will be coming. But in order for them to get all them resources and things, they have to use war. So then break these conflicts out, and then you realize Trump tell Ukraine that he's going to have to give over some of the minerals. Yeah, so pretty soon we're going to hear what Ukraine going to give.
Exactly. The Zelensky on the next side talking about if they make them NATO ally, you give up the presidency, blah 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 blah, all kind of others. They again, no more than ever is that brothers and sisters should really pray like you say, pray the Most High God really move brothers and sisters spirit, to really come into the truth and really understand what really taking place because outside of these gates and then it's a sad thing to see. It's a sad thing to see. Very sad. Because this place, as you say, the destination that it is destined for, it walking that pathway right now and as I say, it's like to see your brothers and sisters, getting, unalive, really, it heartbroken. It heartbroken because even as you say, when you look at our oppressor right now, as you say, this beast, he's doing as much as he could to try to cover up his shame because again, a lot of them, unalizing one another, but the so shameful the doing all in the authority because now remember now they control every media platform information going out so they could cover up as much as they could and just be a little snippet or whatever they desire but we facing the brunt of it every day and we seeing what is taking place on a live stage face to face and on every platform of the social media. No more than ever, brothers and sisters should really gravitate and find yourself, to a school, especially like we already say, we use the Caribbean, Jamaica, as I say, we know their current afflictions taking place right now in Jamaica, Trinidad as well. The same thing goes out to, as you say, to the rest of Caribbean islands. Brothers and sisters should find as you say, find the school, and most I God, move the spirit. Yes, yeah.
Well, let's see. The thing is, you're so right, and it's better for them to find the school on their own rather than the Most High. push them in a situation like he's doing with the Northern Kingdom now. He's stirring up the Northern Kingdom now, to get them to gel together and to get them to see how deceptive the oppressor really is. Right? So these things are not without a reason. The Most High is pushing them into war. Because Iran going to get some bomb before, we don't know when, but they are planning it. Because it looked like when 1st of March come, it looked like Netanyahu them not sign no more peace treat. What I mean call it again, ceasefire. Then I sign no more ceasefire with Hamas, then going into the next phase of the war.
Netanyahu like a little troll on that the bridge. The story like Billy Goldcroft with them goat and them tell the next one more fatter than me. Wait until he come. I maybe know that old, as you say, school time story. When they crossing the bridge and the troll under the bridge and the next one tell this one more bigger than me. This one more bigger than me. That who he is.
Right. No matter what the West gotta say or do, they have an agenda which they have to push and achieve certain things by a certain time.
Right.
And they only have that window where if they don't do it, then if they don't do it within that time, then it won't get done again. According to their, I don't know what. But when this time come around and they start doing all them things, drop bomb on Israel, Iran, because they're going to try and bomb out Iran's nuclear program. Yeah, because Russia already pledged to assist Iran with his nuclear program. So Iran not going to turn back. But there's also another big chess move that is about to be played on the field with Russia and America.
Right.
Because Russia gave up Syria. Gave up Syria right there in the Middle East, So since he gave up Syria, it caused Israel drop a whole lot of bomb in Syria, and he can make him move now on the West Bank without fear of getting in any problem with any group from Syria. Now they're going to have to give Russia something for not fighting them in Syria. And that what they're going to give him is probably Ukraine. Most likely is Ukraine. He might just get NATO thrown in it too. NATO might just crumble under Trump. Because Trump have an America first policy which is pushing everything in the grinder. All right, back to what is happening here. Well, I'm going to read this article. What is resulting in is jobs lost, projects cancelled, and more jobs lost, said Fong, who furloughed all three of his employees about 2 weeks ago. Many of his clients are now stuck with equipment they can't finance on their own. In other words, these are some agricultural equipment,
Right.
A lot of the farmers now would buy these equipment either for agricultural processing or to use in the field. But these are not equipment that they can buy on their own. So he assists them in achieving government funding. Now they get the equipment, the money is supposed to come in from the government so that they can pay back the bank for these equipment.
Mm.
But the funding cut, right? So many of these clients are stuck with equipment they cannot finance on their own. It is shocking to some of them who have voted for Trump to realize that this might directly impact them. So, well, earlier I said that most time what they do is they go against the other party, but in Trump case, it's across the board because a lot of people who is feeling the pinch did vote for Trump, but a lot of them go and vote for Trump because them silently racist. Even a lot of them, these blacks and Hispanics, yeah, them racist against their own people. That's why them vote for Trump. Even though, if I was in America and I was a voter, I don't think I would have voted this election. Because one, is either I vote for LGBT or I vote for the racist man. Weeks after the Office of Management and Budget rescinded the sweeping freeze on grants and loans it had issued days earlier, Shondell Newsom, founder of Sumno Marketing in Las Vegas, said his agency internship could still be on the chopping block. The program, with space for 4 interns per year, is sustained by a Labor Department grant. So I'm sure you're blackface. Black people are feeling it. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native. What is happening here in the American situation? They have a budget, a debt servicing that is not sustainable. So it can't sustainable for you if you're paying $1 trillion per annum in debt servicing. They can find the money, but that is inflationary. Because all they have to do is print the money and pay them debt. But that is inflation. And if they keep on taking on inflation, you're going to end up with a serious case of what's the word they use again? The inflation caused the economy to crash. What do they call it again?
When the more inflation causes the economy to crash.
To crash, yeah, to collapse. They experience it recession. Yeah, the time of the Great Recession back in the something like 30s or so. So, but this time it's going to be different. They are not going to emerge the winner this time. There's a ton of confusion about what's real and what's not real. He said of the federal directives, if we don't have those dollars to offset the training now, we have got to make a business decision. Newsom still plan to make his next hire in March after the agency that disburses the funds said they remain on track to reach him on schedule. But he's concerned about funding for the rest of the year, including a summer program for high schoolers. So everything getting thing there. All right, I want to switch to another article. This one is our black brothers and sisters in the States. This other one we're going to read now that this is for us in the Caribbean. Yeah. It's a long article to read. Let's see if we can skip through it. In the meantime, we can get a scripture from us. Zephaniah 2:1. So this article here, economic, let's see, share this tab instead. Economic threats loom for Caribbean nations in Trump 2.0. All right, so this article is Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. Let's see if it I will get a date. Okay. By the Caribbean Camera Inc. on January 28th. All right, so this article was 28th of January. Black man is showing you again. Is Andy Knight. Oh, Andy Knight is the one who wrote. This is the man who wrote this article, giving you the Caribbean perspective of Trump 2.0. Bear in mind though that some of it is speculative and some of it actually start to happen. Donald Trump, a convicted felon, was inaugurated as president of the United States on Monday. That is January 20, I think, no? This is Trump's second kick at the can, and Trump 2.0 promises to be even more chaotic than the first time he won the presidency. For Trinidad and Tobago and the rest of the Caribbean, Trump 2.0 ought to be treated with significant concern. This time around, Trump is intent to shaking up the U.S. bureaucracy, challenging long-held norms, and advancing major foreign and domestic policies that could inevitably have negative impacts for countries in geographical proximity to the United States. First, Trinidad and Tobago, as well as other CARICOM countries, are to be concerned with Trump's immigration policy. Trump 2.0 is likely to result in much stricter immigration law. Well, we see that start happening, so we can jump down to this paragraph now. The size of remittances going into Trinidad and Tobago from the U.S. is significant. According to a recent study, the non-immigrant temporary worker group is the largest single source of remittances, potentially sending up to 15 billion to Trinidad and Tobago annually. There's much money running into Trinidad annually, sir. All right, so then give us some historical data right there. And jump down to this part now. Then talk about CARICOM, right? Before we do that, you have the scripture already.
Yeah, come.
Oh, it's Zephaniah.
Yeah, this way.
Sorry, you can't go ahead.
Book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together, ye gather together, O nation of desire.
Right, nation not desired. The Most High's order says that we are to gather together. But watch what we're going to read now. This is talking about a split, possible split amongst us here in the Caribbean. I'm going to say we can increase that font size there. All right, second down to third. I'll go down to third now. Third, it is likely that the new Trump administration will pursue a security and counterterrorism strategy aimed at Venezuela and Cuba. Well, we see them tag. It look like they're going after Venezuela and Cuba, especially Cuba. Yeah, because Biden signed, Biden lift the U.S. embargo, and as the very day Trump going in, put it back. Biden left it like about the last week of his presidency. So them take the most highest people for political football.
Can tell you that. Tell you that. See, children are your oppressor.
Hmm.
Just as I say, as soon as he go on that, he just like as I say, a child, a spoiled child now.
Mhm. Right. So going after Venezuela and Cuba with the collaboration and assistance of some Caribbean countries. This security strategy aimed at increasing the Trump administration's focus on counterterrorism effort in the Caribbean could potentially lead to increased cooperation between the US and a few Caribbean countries on security issues. It is the kind of policy that could split CARICOM, as we saw happening during Trump's first presidency. Fourth, there is the issue of climate change and energy policy. All right, so under climate change now, it is, let's say, drop down to Mia Mottley, the Prime Minister of Barbados, is well aware of this possibility, and the new head of CARICOM, she will certainly about Edward Trump's cabinet members who doesn't care much about the Caribbean's concern with sea level rise and the manifold. We're not getting nothing to sea level rise. Other thing. All right, there's a part here we want to touch before we move out. Right, this one. Fifth, and finally, there is the challenge of Trump's regional diplomacy. The new Trump presidency is bound to lead to changes in U.S. diplomatic engagement with the Caribbean region, potentially affecting relationships between the U.S. and individual Caribbean countries. I see the prospects of a divide and conquer regional diplomatic strategy by the new Trump administration that could pit Jamaica, the Bahamas, St. Lucia, and Dominica Republic against Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, St. Vincent, Grenada, and other CARICOM members. This is not a far-fetched idea. We know, for example, that the first Trump administration policies and actions created divisions within CARICOM. So you see, when we in the Caribbean look and we say, so why Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaicans can't get along? Why Barbados and Jamaicans can't get along? Why everybody in the Caribbean don't too like Jamaica? You see where it's coming from? Right at the top.
Yes.
Very,
Yes,
hold on,
you're saying me?
let me finish
Like,
this.
yeah, go
Let me
ahead.
finish this. The very foreign policy that they put in place cause us to be divided. Yeah, Salaki, sir, you can say that.
No, where we're saying and we're reading about is exactly, like what the generals and them was bringing out last night on the show. And we General Hyman was talking about, this this as you say, who singing and balling. Well, he was in the White House now, right? And like with these policies and them now is like, it's showing like, hey, yeah, this oppressor favor me more than you. And now you thinking in your mind, that how come he favor you more than me should favor me more than you too? So it's like just by the, as I say, uh, white man, as you say, or Caesar Borgia, dying in the midst of we mind. Because now every time we see him, who we seeing? Who we people seeing? Right? You see, who we seeing? You seeing Jesus in your mind, you thinking that Jesus.
Exactly
So
what you're saying.
you
Oh,
so when you yeah, so when you see, as I say, this beast now, you thinking that you want to be more close to Jesus. So like as I say, you like just like what I say in Christian church. My church is the true church. You know, my congregation is the true congregation. The next congregation falls. So immediately that don't stop in your mind because now as I say, not my Jesus, not my Jesus. And just like we read that conflict within CARICOM, that way it is the beast in the middle of everybody mind. So everybody want to cling to the beast. So when you do a favor for this one and you feel like he left something, he automatically setting that as I say that rip in between brothers. Uh, setting that rip in between brothers. Uh,
yeah, because they think that they are doing these things on their own.
mm,
It's like you hear a man on the street, my reason and say, oh, why am I telling you, man? Some of them youth them wicked, man. Look how me grew
mm,
up in a community, I mean, but the truth figure shoot go down something. So them no can do the same too. Which way the system is designed in such a way that is this. You are in a box.
mm,
You are in a box. Some strong enough to make the decision not to be conquered by the box, while some just can't. The reality is, some of us, the system was designed. In other words, the system don't design to send everybody to prison, because the prison cannot hold everybody.
mm,
The system never designed for everybody going to parliament. It wasn't designed for everybody to be out of a job.
mm,
Neither was it designed for everybody to be in a job.
mm,
So you see, wherever you find yourself as a black, Hispanic, or native,
mm,
and you're not suffering, just give thanks to God and don't try and boast by your brother and talk
mm,
about, oh, me choose this and me did this. It's just what the oppressor allow you to choose. When he put in foreign policy for the Caribbean, because we don't know what is Trump new foreign policy for this region as yet, But when you put it on the Caribbean region here, and you see people start losing job and people start, the changes start to come in effect.
mm,
I go look and say, is that the one they losing work? Or what is making losing job,
mm,
things like that. You go hear people say, yeah man, all in Jamaica there, long time them to kick them out of the place.
mm,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah, all your Trinidad and them, take up in Venezuela and them, like say,
Mm,
and them related. I've
mm,
heard I've heard statement like that, right?
yeah.
And maybe them pressure on now to put more pressure on the Venezuela and to get them out of the country.
Mm,
Yeah, I hear people now say a long time they've run out them Venezuela and them.
mm,
But where is that hatred? Who implant that hatred? The
mm,
oppressor. And they so sneakingly call it foreign policy. Or you hear Professor Sachs talk about the hegemony, the America hegemonical structure, which is
mm,
foreign policy,
mm,
right? But a long time we have blown the one, because we year attack. I think up to last year we talk and in one of the class I say, if I hear that word more often now, hegemony, because that is the American foreign policy the name that they give to the foreign policy that they push across the world. In other words, their way of thinking and their way of doing business, they are going to impose it on the Caribbean. Just about that time before, clean up in the yard first.
Yeah.
And then you see him start clean up the other places. Right? Where are we going to stand? Many of us is going to join him. Give me Ecclesiasticus, 12. 10 to 12. Many of us is going to unknowingly end up eating our brothers simply because of him. Just like how we here in the Caribbean, those gangs you see in Trinidad, I'm sure none of those gangs existed in Trinidad. Well, the gang them wouldn't exist back then, but gang violence and the level of killing did not exist in Trinidad prior to that period of time when the CIA intervention in Jamaica, which is mid to late 70s. This region was like crime free. Well, the only crimes you used to really have is what you call domestic crime. Like Cuba, you don't have gang violence gang problem in Cuba right now. But who knows, after a while they keep up the pressure on Cuba. After a while they might start reading and hear say gangs in Cuba. And then you say, gang, how that happened? Who caused it? The oppressor. You have it ready?
Yeah. Ecclesiastic verse 10, right? Chapter 10 and 10.
12.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10 and verse 12.
No,
The
chapter
begin
12. Chapter 12,
12,
verse 10.
verse 10. And the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Exactly. And this is what now we are going to diplomatically trust him, but it's going to be a pitfall for us as blacks, Hispanics, and Native. And those that are above or that are over us, many of them going to see it and still allow it to happen. But you have to be wise. The thing is, Trump is trying to fix something that was broken probably maybe about 20 years ago. The American economy broken a couple years ago. They have just been using inflation to patch up. Like you put a band-aid, but below the band-aid, the sore getting bigger. So each time you require a bigger band-aid. Yeah, because the sore is below the band-aid and the sore is getting bigger under the band-aid. So each time you require a bigger band-aid to cover that wound. But you're not really addressing the source of the problem. Now, he thinks that he can address the source of the problem. Now, in his mind, it's DEI, which is his problem. Now, under that same diversity, blah, 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 comes women's rights, come black rights. Some idiot did twin it with gay rights, women rights, black people, civil rights. Twin all of that in a one. But they know them not do them because them most of them not giving no lie. If they could have taken our villages, the over 100 blacks thriving villages or communities. I've never heard that they fight against any Chinatown or any other nation village over there. Why they keep fighting against the Black American villages, Black American town? a lot of those towns would have already. But then again, the states that those were in, they are still the leading states, you know. Georgia, United States. Sorry, Georgia, New York, probably Texas,
Mm.
where them destroy them village there. The Carolinas, still the leading states. And the black people are still there. Now, if we were able to run our own town, we have to pay tax, you know. So we'll be paying taxes, and those taxes would have been offsetting many more than it is doing now. But what do? You create some billionaire blacks. You create some billionaire black people, which those money is not circulating. So you have a lot of blacks now without money who's going to become problem to the same system. So we're going to build bigger jails. Are you going to send them to Guantanamo? Because now when the system kick them out of a job, what is going to happen? Not just the other day, they have a problem with smash and grab. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So what I think the other side of this job loss period that they're coming, that they're kicking them out the system. What's the other side to it? Smash and grab, it's gonna get worse. People not going to grab your things and run. They're not going to run, leave you now. They must start killing one of them and take it.
That happening already. They just going to intensify more.
You know what?
I say it don't happen already. They're just going to intensify more.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're going to see more of it, way
Yeah.
more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it happens, and the thing is, it's going to start happening in the black communities first because we are already broke and pauperized. We first go and feel it as a people.
Mm. And this is their opportunity, again, to analyze it. Because that is damn near like, again, the Lord actually, opening, as you said, the playbook before we eyes. And we should, again, every day should take heed to what is before we eyes. And, as you say, we must see Brakataya while shy. For as you say, the men above command General YAHANNA. That's truth. Righteous black men. Yeah, with all this, with all this, and without, that guidance and the Most High God, King, our shy. Look at the, as you say, let's just look at, let me say, the condition that we face daily. And even as you say, coming into the truth, the Most High God, raising up and waking up for us, but because now again, we just try to take glory in a lot of things, but we can't have glory in it. Lord is the only one who's supposed to be there in all the glory. But if we think it come out and say out of your own mouth or your own words, say don't pray to me but pray to the Father, then what glory we just have within ourselves to trying to take credit for something that we even know how it come about. Eh? What glory to have in hand, no glory in that. And this is why again the example of a righteous black man was set to that standard by our King Yahweh Shai to understand the principles of the Most High God. And we follow after them principles. And this is why, as you say, we have a righteous black leader by the name of Commanding General YAHANNA who teach black men today those principles and to understand the whole dynamic behind it and could raise up, I would say, a strong and solid black family that what that win have or face the trials and persecution by walking after these instructions. And again, this is important. Again, that time is that time now that should really come and really gather ourselves together, just like with our opening remark. That's actually at 1-1, and then we lock it off there because now we putting the trust in this enemy. We don't know. We know, as we say, who don't know or don't understand the whole dynamic behind iron. As I say, it look when it new, it's shiny, but on the outside, on the inside, it corroded, the rusting from the inside come out, and you didn't even know that. So you can keep on polishing the outside, but not knowing on the inside where all that moisture and all that taking place, it corroded coming on the rusting. So you see in the inside, and this is who that beast is. You see that beast, and I say looking so, and you say in your eyes, now he good. But deep within inside that resonated in him, yeah, nothing good inside of it.
Yeah. And the oppressor's wickedness is just like the iron.
That's right.
So you see him come amongst, so you vote in Trump believing that he's going to, yes, for whatever reason they think they're voting in. And then
Mm-hmm.
you were voting, you're one of the first one to feel,
Mm-hmm.
you're one of the first one to feel his pinch. All right, next verse 11.
Yeah. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and be aware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his wrath hath not been altogether wiped out.
Right. So this is all, it's all him coming humble,
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk. That's how they went in the office, humbly. And he meet with a lot of black people, humbly. Um, probably many of them thought that you would have had more black people in his cabinet this time. Much black person in Trump cabinet. The last time he have the what about the name again, the famous brain surgeon, put him in charge of housing. Much blacks he have in there this time. Done. All right, next verse 12.
Set him not thy thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith.
Right, so this is a warning.
Mm.
So what this last part here is saying, you put him beside you. You see, when him take your seat, you're going to remember the word. Least thou remember my words, and be pricked therewith. So Ecclesiasticus was his name was Jesus, but he was Jesus before the Jesus that went on the cross. And I think he was writing to his son, our sons. So that's why I put it like this. Least don't remember my words, and then you'll be pricked there. And I said, Lord, Grandpa did warn me not to do this. Yeah. So, you have to always watch them. There's always some ulterior motive when them come around you. always some ulterior motive behind it in whatever they are doing. All right, so that's warning to our people. So, like I said,
Last I was any time with that time not roll up already.
yeah, man, we're chipping out now.
Mm.
So, just a warning to our people, Trump 2.0, don't trust them oppressors, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
They are going to mess us up in this, within the next 4 years. Opportunities will present itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not going to be like, just like in slavery and everybody, they get whip and hang on a tree.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's not everybody was lynched. But does that mean that slavery was okay because you didn't get lynched?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing this time. Not everybody going to feel the pinch of Trump 2.0, but does that mean that you can trust your enemy? In no way, you should not. All right, so with that, closing words, sir.
Yeah, again, just a reminder, right? To brothers and sisters to come down to the school nearest you, right? ISUPK Jamaica, ISUPK Trinidad and Tobago, right? Again, the Feast of Purim is upon us, right? Again, come and break bread with your brothers, which is March 15th and 14th. Come down to the school, right? Meet brothers, meet your sisters, meet your family on a whole, because again, more than ever, this is important. And right after that, again, this, as I say, is a command. That brothers and sisters, make it down to the Lord 56 annual Passover. As a reminder, Commander General and again has make that provision and set, put in place through the Spirit of the Most High Christ, weaker events, for brothers and sisters, even the children as well, to come together again, just like, we did in in past times, being under the instructions of following the instructions of the Lord. Right. So again, this is just a reminder to us, right? Again, the conflict zone. This is where you come up and see all the or hear all what is taking place in the zones. This is why it is the conflict zone, because we zone in on zones. So who you are zoning in right? Who is zoning in right now, and who? Trump 2.0, 2.0.
Point.
This is
Oh,
this is who we zoning in right now. This is why this is a conflict zone. I don't know. I
right. So, Trump 2.0 preparing for the rebuilding of the temple in Jerusalem,
mm,
which is our temple.
mm,
I read something the other day when Rome, I think I read it on DeepSeek. I download DeepSeek just to to do some research to hear what DeepSeek say as opposed to what
mm,
Google would say. I
mm,
realize that if DeepSeek really is DeepSeek, I go deeper, little deeper with giving you like, some information.
right.
All right. So DeepSeek says that when when Rome invaded Jerusalem in 70 AD, and they get rid of most of the ruling class and so you still are going to have remnants of our people within the land and thing.
Mm,
They tear down the temple
mm,
and then they went and they built another temple. What do they call it again? They call it something another, but they build a temple replica to the one that we have.
mm,
And guess what? They banned the original Jews from going there.
mm. Not surprised.
So they tear down what we have and they build build the what them call it again? It become no, it wasn't the Era Temple. Era Temple was built before that, but they built it after 70 AD. After they put an end to the Jewish state, and then they banned us from going in it. The man are not easy. All right, so and probably that wall that they said they have, what they call the wall again? The Wailing Wall.
The what?
The Wailing Wall in Jerusalem. That wall probably is remnant from that temple, you know, which the Romans built.
As I say, we focus on right now that whole place going to be refurbished. So wherever up, it's going to come down. That is the reality of it. Wherever they want to put up, it's going to come down.
Yeah, the whole of Saudi Arabia and Jordan and Syria. One of them places was ours.
Yeah, you see, everything's here. Not one stone will be left unturned, and not one stone. So wherever you go up, go right in.
Right.
So
you know, with that we say, wait, we had read the last verse, right?
yeah, you can.
Right. Prick by the word. All right. So with that, until next week, this is another episode of the Conflict Zone. Thanks for tuning in. You know, thanks for spending the time with us. Until next week, we tune in again to another episode of Conflict Zone. We're not going to rename it Trump 2.0, though, but every time we talk, we end up talking because there is always something new when come with.
Yeah. Zoning, remember I done zoning already? It's like a whole meme. And you know, as I say, you zoom in, you open your zoom, you zoom down in. So
Yeah.
that's the highlight. That's the highlight right now.
So join us next week again while we zoom in another conflict.
That's right.
We zone in on another conflict.
That's right. Done.
Right. Well, shalom. You have a shalom. So.
Yeah, shalom. You have a social.
Let me see. Find about this.